All right, here we go. We are live.
Take a picture of the puppies.
There you go.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
We're live now. So we take some pictures and video of all the pup-ups.
Serafina. She is a pity mix. That's Monty. He's a terrier pity mix, this little guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's his brother.
So they're brothers.
Yeah, they're brothers.
How close they are.
I can't remember how. Hey, babe. What is his name again? Is that Mateo?
I think she's like,
It's the big one.
the bigger one?
Yeah.
That's Max.
Max? Okay.
And these two are brothers.
Yep, and then Boston. Yeah, there's another one over there. She's got one.
Okay.
And then that's Boston. He's from a different litter. And obviously Serafina and Cinna are siblings. They're the last two of 6.
Nice.
They're about 5 months old now, right?
Yeah.
They're all up to date on everything. They got their rabies, Bordetella, DHPP, DHPPLs.
Their birthday is
420. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Boston is about 3 months old, the little brown one.
I want to take you all
He
home.
is, actually, Boston was born June 6th. Boston is June 6th.
Oh, so they're a little
They're
older.
June 28th. Yeah.
So they're
These look like twins, these two.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
What's this little guy?
That's Mateo.
Mateo. All right, so welcome to the Facebook Live, our first. As you all know, we are starting with our podcast. We're doing a great mission here to try to get all these dogs adopted. I'm here with Dan. Dan, go ahead
How you
and
doing?
explain yourself, what the mission is, what you guys are doing, and what we're planning on doing here in the future.
Okay, so we're a dog rescue out of Illinois. We take animals from owner surrenders, basically neglect cases, and kill shelters. Basically anything that somebody doesn't want anymore. A lot of these guys were from down south. In kill shelters. We have some really great people who will call us and say, hey, you know, we've got these dogs, they're going to end up being put down, and it's not their fault. Overpopulation of all these dogs is really what's killing these animals. We are a non-kill shelter, which basically means that no matter what, if the dog has issues, we will take care of that. If the dog is too much of an issue, we will still keep it, but it ends up just staying with us forever. Most of these guys were just let go of just because people couldn't handle them, or they were going to cost them too much money to vet them. People get this idea that they can afford this, but there's a lot of money that's spent for these animals that people don't understand, that you have to put out first before they can find a home. Right. A lot of vetting has to be done. Any dog that comes into our organization goes through a vetting process, whether it's down south or it's already done up here. So like Serafina and Cinna, the white and tan ones, they were a litter of 6. Yeah, so there was Sammy, Sunny, I think, and then Babe. Who were the other 2?
I'm sorry?
For Serafina and Cinna's litter. Sammy.
It was,
That's okay. We can. But there were 6 of them. So they do a vet check down there to make sure that they're all happy and healthy. We can't take them until they have a clear bill of health.
Yes.
Because they're crossing state lines.
Right.
So we get a health certificate saying that they're in good standing at the vet. Then they get their Bordetella, DHPPLs, rabies if they're old enough. If they're not, we'll do that once they get up here.
Okay.
Which basically is, you know, from down in Belmont, they do everything for us, and in Cato Parish. They'll do everything for us because they just want them to get out of the scenario that they're in. Right. So a lot of times they'll come fully vetted. which is great because that's a burden that we don't have to put on asking for donations and stuff like
Exactly.
that. So that's and
Yeah.
so every pup that comes up, there's probably $400 or $500 already in each pup. So an adoption fee can vary. It really depends on what we've already had done, how old the dog is. There's a certain price when they're puppies to 6 months, and then after 6 months it kind of drops a little bit. Every one of these dogs has to be spayed and neutered. The contract says that no matter what, they have to have that done. If they're too young, the people who adopt them, they become a foster. So they're part of our organization, but they don't have full rights to the dog until the dog is spayed or neutered. Now, up here, we like to have them spayed or neutered at about 6 months to a year. Some people would argue with us that you're waiting too long because then they could have litters. That is true, but we are very apt to know what's going on. Yeah, we call you if you don't. We have a separate contract, and you have to give a deposit of $100 to make sure that you want that $100 back, right? So, go ahead. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You don't own the puppy until
that proof of
spay and neuter is done.
Okay. Now what about with other animals? So when people have other dogs or cats, what do you guys do for that?
we have people come out. They know their animals better than anybody, right? So if they choose to bring their animal, that's kind of up to them. Okay. We prefer them to come out to either our house because we are foster based. We don't have a building. It's too darn expensive for us to have a building. It's $5 to $10 grand a month. Right. So this is done out of our home, which is pretty crazy. So we have 20 to 40 dogs at any given time. We have 11 of our own that live there, and then we have anywhere from 15 to 25 fosters. So we try to socialize them. If they're puppies, they pretty much get along with anything. We have 2 at home. We have a Shih Tzu Terrier mix, and then we've got a Yorkie Wiener dog mix. And they're very scared right now. Yeah. So they have their own room. That we let them kind of run around and figure everything out themselves. We're not going to push ourselves. That's why they're not here. Right. We just don't want anybody getting bit or anything else like that. So we want everybody to be safe. And they're a little bit older. With the little ones, everybody loves a little dog, right? But they're sometimes a little vicious. Their entire world just got turned upside down. So realistically, we have to give them some time to decompress. If you don't have the patience, this is not for you at all. Yes. And I have short patience, so a lot of this goes to Jenna with how much patience she has, because I'm not there a lot. I have a full-time job as well. Jenna's full-time job is baby and hair and the rescue. So there is no off switch on her. Yeah. So these are what's left. We had I think there were a total of 25. Because we ended up with a litter of 8 that we weren't expecting, and they were just on our front porch, which is crazy.
So
that was Boston.
Just dropped off?
Just dropped off, yeah. Normally we get up in the morning and we go get the Amazon because they can deliver it between, they can deliver up till 10 o'clock in our neighborhood, and they can drop stuff on the front porch. So in the morning I'll go out there, have my coffee, and I went out there and I was like, oh, well, that's definitely not Amazon. They didn't deliver that. So, we ended up taking that.
You got a better delivery.
Yeah. Well, it was a little bit like, hey, babe, it's time to get up. You've got 8 more poops to kind of go after. So, we try to do the best we can. Obviously, everything is worked off of donations, right? Yes. So, or companies donating products that are dog related. And we're all about putting their stuff out there, going back and forth. Yeah, we're not government funded. This is specifically. It's just it's really off of the adoption fees and events like this where people donate to snuggle with the puppies, and it all goes to the organization. We take no money out of this organization for ourselves. We work. Right, so we have our own things to pay our mortgage and stuff like that. So this is more of a passion project, right? We obviously met you through Alison, which is great. We hope this, builds and everything like that. We want everybody.
We have a future podcast coming up with him too,
which is awesome. Yes. So we love this because it gets the name out of everybody, right? Everybody wins in this situation.
Right,
the dogs, you, me. Everybody.
Everyone that's here right now.
A smile on their face, and places like Pixie Pups.
Yes.
Who Alison is the one that she emailed us, and Alison saw it. I didn't. So this is cool. We didn't have anything going on this weekend, so it was nice. And obviously we appreciate your time being out here to do this. But all these dogs.
About the mission.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm Romeoville native and stuff like that. Grew up in Naperville, moved there. You're right in Bolingbrook, so you're right in the neighborhood stuff. We've done stuff at some pride events in Bolingbrook. We've brought some pups, and that's some of the best events ever. Everybody's so happy to be there and stuff like that. We're non-political. I just want to tell everybody that. I don't care if you're left or right, black or white. Doesn't matter to me. It's about the animal at the end of the day. I don't care if you're rich or poor. It's still going to adopt to you. It does. It is, as long as you're willing to take care of the animal. That's all that matters to me. And that's just a blatant statement that we live by. You know, I'm not gonna. I don't like to get into any of that. You know, this world is a crazy place at this time, but we're just here to try and help. In places like this where, I mean, half these people I've never met or seen, and now our name's out there. You know, and that's the biggest thing. It's about sharing and, you know, TikToks and Instagram and Facebook. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing tool, especially for our generation. Right. When we were younger, it was like MySpace, you know,
MySpace,
like
that. Top 10s. Oh, you took down your top 10. That's
exactly.
where
you put the music on it, right?
That's
now
where all
it's
the drama started.
Yeah, of course. And now, you know, we're on Pet Finder, Adopt a Pet. Those are all sources of third parties that we can use to get these animals out there. We have people from Colorado that have adopted. You know, they got to fly in. You know, we don't do shipping.
I was going to ask you that too. So that's what bringing that up.
Yeah,
so
we
if
don't
someone
ship
in Florida,
anything.
for example, they want one of these pups, so wants to take the
they
brothers
have to
with.
fly
They have
in.
to fly in.
Yep. Or drive. Whatever works. Yeah, and they've got to get clearance from everything.
Okay.
If they live in an apartment or a condo or a townhouse that's not owned by them, there's a whole nother vetting process. I have to call the landlord.
Because there's a lot of places out there that will not allow pit bulls.
Correct.
And that's unfortunate.
You know, and the best part is that if you register as an ESA dog, emotional support animal, they can't. You can have whatever you want,
right?
As long as you qualify for all those things. So we've had in the last couple of months, we've had 3 or 4 people who have qualified for ESA. I email the landlords or the conglomerate that owns all that building, and they say, hey, there's nothing we can do. As long as you have the ESA certifications, of course they can adopt that dog, which is cool, because a lot more of these bigger places are now realizing what you can and can't do. You know, and there's been no like, oh, well, you know, if it's a pit bull you can't. Everybody's been great, and I appreciate that. I'm a landlord too, so for me it's, you know, I clearly don't care what you have. You know, you could have a tiger if it was allowed. I don't really care, but you know, you're taking all the liability, right? So, you know, the mission in this is just to save as many dogs as we can and find them responsible homes. That's it. And meeting people like you and you know, and Alison being a huge part of this, and my wife, and you know, everybody that's here is here to support Pixie's Pups, and then you know, and that's cool to see. You know, it's a couple of little vendors and stuff like that are around and stuff like that. But you know, we're here. These are the last 6. Of this set, and then next weekend we're getting another mama, and then a bunch of babies and 3 chihuahuas. The 3 chihuahuas are already spoken for. We've already posted them on Pet Finder and Adopt a Pet. They're already gone.
I was going to say, my son's holding the camera right now. My sister, his aunt Lauren, is a Chihuahua fan. So
okay,
she would probably come in.
Nice.
Scoop one up.
Yeah, so those 3 they were retired breeders, right? They were. I don't necessarily know if they were dumped. I don't really know a lot. All I know is I'll get minimal information that might not just, you know, some of it could be a story, but you know, whatever, we go with it. They're obviously in our care because if somebody didn't want them anymore, which is sad because if you bred the dog, you've made money off of them, right? And unfortunately, realistically, it would be nice if you were to keep that dog because it made you a bunch of money, so it should be treated like kings or queens. Exactly. That's my whole thing. We have 4 mamas at home that never got adopted. I didn't let them go. They were great. They're still with me. I have a 16-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 14-year-old, and then a 10-year-old mama. Wow. Yeah, and we feed them just regular dog food, but I think a lot of it has to do with the love. Yeah. It has to go with it too. You know, we obviously vet care them, stuff like that. But at the same time, you know, this whole part of this is just getting the word out about rescue. I don't think there's, for me personally, and some people will not like this, I don't mind breeders if you're in it and you take care of the animals that you produce. You know, and that's something that a lot of rescuers are like, oh, I can't believe you would feel that way. Well, who am I to judge? Some people want a certain dog, and they want a certain breed, and they're going to use it for hunting or whatever else. There are some working out dogs out there that need that. Not these people who are just breeding them because they're cute. You know, and that's our biggest thing. It's a lot of these dogs were bred, or they were a wild dog, and it ended up getting pregnant, and we got it off the streets. You know, and all these guys live in our home. So I've heard some, you know, horror stories in the past of the people that
breeding the dogs and then taking them out back and
of course,
old Yeller
absolutely.
style. I hate to say it, I don't want to bring it up, but
no,
it's unfortunate, and that's what's going on.
It's the
right
reality
now.
of the world,
and that's why I personally want to be a part of this in our podcast, Hashtag City Backstage. We go backstage with everything. We're backstage with you right now. We appreciate it. Of course, on my Facebook Live, we'll be posting this later on our YouTube as well.
Cool.
But we have a lot to do for this mission for sure, and we will be having you on here probably once a month for sure.
Cool. Yeah, we love that.
The longevity dogs is what we talked about too in our meeting. Is just something I want to talk about is older dogs in this home store. You were just talking about it. You have a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 16-year-old. Do you see them getting passed up a lot?
I mean, honestly, I think rescue has gotten so much bigger over the last 2 or 3 years. I've been doing this for almost 20 years.
Okay.
So I think in the last 2 or 3 years, a lot more people after they, got a dog and social media wasn't as big, because everything's grown so quickly. TikTok's 10 years old, which is crazy to think.
And you guys are more than welcome, by the way, to come in here. Just because we're doing this, you're more than welcome to come on in. So come on in if you want.
So we try to, I think the biggest thing is for us is that, a lot of people are looking for that dog that's not going to get adopted,
right.
Which is really cool. I've had people ask us if we're, what's your oldest resident,
right.
Or who's this? What do you need? Oh, fur. So we obviously try to do we obviously promote the older dogs or everything else like that a lot more because puppies get adopted, right? They go quick. Everybody wants a cute little puppy. And smart people don't want to ever have to potty train to get a 2-year-old. Then it's already set. Then that's the best dog in the world because and it's kind of already set in its ways. There might be a little bit more work on the opposite of that, but there's not going to be anything that's going to be crazy as far as if it's 2 years old. It's probably potty trained. Its family probably just gave up because it wasn't cute anymore. And we do get a lot of those. Obviously, with right now because we don't have a farm yet, we can only handle so much. If you do look into it and you want something that's a little older, we have access to 15,000 dogs at any given time. And a lot of this is put back to how much space you have and time and effort, and we don't really have a ton of room. We only have so much room, so we have fosters and everything like that. You with Coco and Junior? Yeah. Okay. So they have 2 dogs that they just needed some help with. So they were originally their dogs. It's not a give up scenario. There was a litter. We can't necessarily take it physically into the organization, so we offer help to post all this stuff. And then we find homes and we do all the paperwork like they're ours, but they don't have the resources that we do over the years. And we've almost got 10,000 people on our Facebook page, and it's all organic. We don't pay for any of that stuff.
Same with us.
I try not to.
Yeah. What I mean? I don't need no bots. I want real people.
I want people that are actually going to click and say yes, that's what I want to do.
Yes.
So, it's more of a. But we have access to everything and anything you could possibly think of.
That's awesome.
We don't really do a lot of cats, but we have done some cats.
Okay.
It's been kind of hit or miss.
There's still some people asking about that.
We do some, but we're very leery on that because if they're outside cats, if they have FIV and stuff like that, there's a ton of money that goes into it, and that's the scary part. It's real hard to, if we bring them in a situation, we have to make sure that we don't make anybody else sick. We got to make sure that everybody else is happy and healthy. So, that's kind of the basis. The mission is just to help as many dogs as we can, but do it the right way, not take more than we can handle. I think that's my biggest thing right now, is that we take way more than we can handle, but we make it work. And we then focus on these guys because we're not taking as many as we would normally take because we still have these 6 now. And we still want to focus on these guys because we want them to get in the homes where they're a little bit bigger.
Quick pan, real quick, Logan.
But yeah, I mean, this is kind of the mission of Mama Zoey's, and I appreciate everything, and I can't wait to do the podcast and bring some pups in and have a good time and talk about the dog's life, everything like that. Obviously how everybody meets and stuff like that is pretty cool. And we've talked about doing a podcast, but you obviously are the man to do it. You know what you're doing, which is, hey man, whatever. We're all learning something, right? So I think that's the biggest thing.
This is going to be new for me. I've always wanted to do this, and everyone knows that knows me. I'm a huge dog lover, cat lover, animal lover overall. So whatever I can do to help save these animals' lives,
we appreciate.
I'm going to help on the mission. So,
we appreciate that.
Before we let you go, if you can just let everyone know where they can find you on social.
So you can go on the Mama Zoey and Puppies Rescue on Facebook. Do we have a TikTok handle? Because I don't know what the TikTok handle is. Is it Mama Zoey and Puppies Rescue? Okay, and then an
Mama
Insta-
Zoey Puppies.
Yeah, Mama Zoey Puppies.
And that's
then
Zoey
what's the-
spelled Z-O-E-Y.
Yeah, Z-O-E-Y.
Okay.
Yep, yep, yeah. If you just type in Mama Zoey and Puppies, everything should pop on our socials. We've got on our website you can donate. There's an Amazon list up there.
Okay.
We'll obviously get you that link too.
Perfect.
Which is great
We'll
because
pop it up.
those are huge for us, right?
Yes.
The biggest thing that we struggle with is food and cleaning supplies.
Okay.
And it's more cleaning supplies than anything.
And if anyone wants to donate, where can they go donate?
So they can go through their Venmo, they can go through Zelle, they can go on our website, they can go directly to the page, and it goes directly they'll get a receipt saying that it's done. If people because we obviously are doing like $2 puppy cuddles, right?
Okay.
Or a donation is basically what it is. So if somebody were to come in here, play with the puppies or whatever else is, we would then ask them for a donation.
Sure.
And who doesn't want for $2 puppy snugglers?
Yeah.
It makes you smile and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this year we were gonna do a pumpkin patch, but some things came up, so we're not doing a pumpkin patch anymore. But we've got a bunch of other things scheduled. So
Excellent.
we'll obviously give you all the updated things. Allison's obviously a huge part of this too, so she does a lot of our socials. So everything is usually put on our Facebook page first. TikTok, we've done a couple lives, and then we kind of went away from it just because we got crazy busy,
Yeah.
right? So it was just like, crap, man, this social media is a lot, and it can take a lot out of you. You got to keep going and keep going and keep going, right? And then you get, after that hour you're doing it, you're tired. You're
Right.
exactly tired. So, like I said, Mama Zoey and Puppies Rescue on Facebook, Instagram, and obviously on TikTok. We got some Snapchat stuff, but we don't actually have like a Mama Zoey and Puppies Snapchat yet, which would be kind of cool. But like I said, these guys are all up for adoption. They're completely up to date on all their vetting. They're up to date from a vet saying that they look good and they're healthy. And obviously, we just want to find them homes.
Perfect. I'm gonna take the camera. I'm gonna get some close-up shots of the pups real quick. Let's see. Look at this big baby boy over here. Is this it's a girl, right?
I think it's a little.
A girl?
I think it's a boy.
It's a boy. It's a boy.
I think it's a little boy.
It's a
Yeah,
boy.
little boy.
You gotta check underneath.
They're all boys except for the two big girls.
Oh. Look. Everyone's saying, bring them home. What kind of pups is that? These are, Cedric's asking what kind of, these are pit bull puppies. We're over at 2011 Essington here at Pixie Pups. So anyone that wants to come down, they will be here till 4 p.m. Am I right? 4 p.m. You guys are going to be here till? Mm-hmm. So you guys have some time. So come on in. And I just want to thank you guys for having me here as well.
Thanks, man.
So
we appreciate you being here.
We're definitely going to end it here, but because I want to play with some puppies before we go. But I want to thank you guys, and we're going to be doing a future podcast. Okay, go ahead. And we're going to get a lot of dogs adopted here. This is our mission.
We appreciate it.
And everyone here, I want to thank you guys for coming out too and supporting the mission. So with that said, we're going to end the live here, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.